Hello and welcome to the Awaken Feminine podcast. I'm your host, KaKi Lee, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on another episode. Today, what I want to talk about is self-doubt. And why do I want to talk about self-doubt? Because self-doubt has been visiting me for the last week or so. Or probably longer, but it's been quite frequent with its visits in the last week or so. So the first thing I want to touch on is that self-doubt is normal, okay? Don't think that it's not, because you're human and we all have doubts, okay? So don't try to push it away. Self-doubt is your friend. Make it your friend and ask it what it's telling you. But you don't have to believe everything that it's telling you, okay? So just to give you a bit of a background as to why self-doubt has been visiting me for the last week and a bit. So last year in September, I launched the Awaken Feminine podcast, and it was purely interview based. So I would be interviewing women that I've met from around the world and sharing their journey, their lessons, their tips and tricks to really take your life to the next level. But as a host, there is not too much time. There's not a lot of times where you would share a lot of yourself or sharing your tips and tricks, right? It's more, for me, I'm a really good listener. I've always been. That's why people love to come to me to tell me stuff, because I'll listen, even though apparently I'm very visual. So I don't know how that works. But anyway, so... Well, where was I? Okay, so it was all purely interview based, and for interviews, it's very easy for me because all I do is ask my guests questions, they answer, I follow my intuition and use my active listening ear to then ask them to expand on certain things or dive deeper into certain aspects of their journey or their lessons, etc. And then I add my 2 cents worth where I think it might add value, or that we would go into a deeper discussion with my guests, right? So all in all, for me, that is quite easy because I used to do a lot of facilitating in my jobs, whatever. Anyway, so it wasn't hard. But then this year I went, okay, it's time for KaKi to come out of her shell and actually show people who she is. And I was really excited when I had that thought and decided, because when I first had the idea for the podcast, I actually wanted to do a solo episode and an interview episode, but just due to the amount of guests that I have, it was like, I feel like I need to, just do 2 interview episodes. So this year I went, okay, let's just do solo for twice a week and do my interview once a week. And I was excited. So then I went to record my first episode, my New Year, New Me episode. And it took me a long time and a lot of recordings before I actually got to the final version, which you guys would have seen or heard on wherever you listen to podcasts. And the reason for that, one was that I didn't feel like the recordings were good enough, so I kept recording. The other reason was also because I had kids running around and screaming, so it was getting recorded, and you could hear them in the background, and that for me was not okay. So I would then stop midway and then start again. And I guess I could have stopped it and then start where I stopped, but I like to just have the kind of flow of consciousness come through, rather than stopping, because it just messes with my flow. So that was what happened. And after I got to the final episode, final version, it was then, okay. So initially it was, oh, it's not good enough. And then it was, who are you to be doing videos and teaching people? to think in a different perspective or think in a different way or give them the tricks and tips to take their life to the next level. Who are you to do that, right? There's so many people out there that's better than you. What do you think? Who do you think will watch it? And then I was like, okay, cool, right? And then the video component. Okay, I at the moment record on my phone because it's the easiest. I have a pretty good phone, and so I use my phone, and it goes on my ring light tripod. So then it was like, well, your videos aren't very professional. You're just standing there by yourself and you're just talking. Who would want to watch that? So there was all these doubts coming in, and my self-doubt was just throwing things out there, right? And luckily I have some level of self-awareness where I actually stopped it and went, you know what, everyone starts from somewhere and I need to start from somewhere. I can't compare myself to Oprah or Tony Robbins or whoever's been doing it for years and years. I am where I am and it's okay. I just need to keep moving forward, right? So I did stop it in its tracks. And with the second video, the number of recordings reduced significantly, and now I'm on to this third video. And again, when I was doing this video, the self-doubt crept in. Okay, are we really talking about self-doubt today? Yes, we are. So I don't know how many times I've recorded this, but a lot less than the first time with my New Year, New Me video. Okay, so now you know why I want to talk about self-doubt, and that I also have self-doubt. I'm human. I want to talk about why people have self-doubt creep in. The first reason being upbringing. If you were brought up where your parents or school or friends or society, whatever, the people around you kept telling you that you weren't good enough, you get 90% for your test. That's not good enough. You should have got 100, right? Oh, your cousin's prettier than you. Your brother's smarter than you. Oh, your best friend's a doctor. Why aren't you a doctor? Then chances are that you've already got that inside of you where you're not good enough. So that's the first reason that you might have self-doubt creep in. Another reason is comparison. Comparison can be healthy, but it depends on how you do it. If you compare yourself, like for myself, if I compare myself to Oprah, hello, that you're just going to make yourself feel like shit because Oprah's been doing it for how many years and you're just starting out, right? You cannot compare someone who's been doing it for so long and have learned all their lessons to yourself who has just started, right? So really comparison is a no. The only time I really think comparison is healthy is when you might go, okay, how can I improve? You want to improve. Like for me, I want to improve my videos. Okay, so what can I do? So I start looking at other people's videos and go, oh, that's pretty cool. I might incorporate that in my video. Or, oh, I like that. How can I incorporate that and make my videos better? So that kind of comparison is healthy to get ideas, right? But not when you're comparing yourself as, oh, I'm not that good. Like that person's way better. I'm not good. Why am I doing this, right? That's not healthy. Another reason is that you are doing something new, which is, for me, what happened because I've not done a solo podcast before and I've not really shared much of my knowledge and my love and wisdom much before, right? I have done lives and I've talked about my life, but not really actually teaching as such, right? So it was really getting out of my comfort zone. So that's why my self-doubt was just going, like having a field day. Another reason is past experience. You might have done something new in the past and it didn't quite work out. So then every single time you do something new, you're going to think that it's not going to work out. So, and your self-doubt is going to remind you that as well. So that would be another reason. And a final reason that I've come up with is that you've got a fear of either failure or success. Because when you have a fear of failure, you don't want to fail, you don't want to look bad. So your self-doubt's like, oh, if you do that, then, it might not work out. But also there's also the fear of success, where you're like, oh, if you do that, your life's going to change. It's going to change so much that all your friends are going to leave you, your family's going to leave you because you're so successful, right? It sounds silly, but it does happen, right? So those are the main reasons for self-doubt: upbringing, comparison, getting out of your comfort zone, past experiences, and fear of failure or success. And there's lots of ways to overcome your self-doubt, but the first one is awareness. A lot of times we're not even aware that it's actually our self-doubt talking to us. And we just think that, oh, that is the truth, right? But first step is being aware. Is that really true, that thought? Is that, is self-doubt, what self-doubt is telling me really true? And really question it. Okay, when self-doubt's telling you you're not good enough, question it. Why am I not good enough? Why? Get curious and ask why. And then it's like, well, I am. I'm still learning, but what I've learned, I can teach people that haven't learned it before. And the people that have learned it, they might get a different perspective, right? So it's being aware and then questioning the doubt, the narrative. And then you can replace that narrative, right? Oh, I can't do it, it's too scary. I can do it. Blah, blah, blah's doing it, why can't I do it? There's no reason why I can't do it. It's like when people look at me and go, KaKi, how do you do these videos or do the podcast? Well, I've never had training. I just kind of learned myself and I just did it, right? It's scary. It's fucking scary. But my fear is not as strong as my mission. My mission really is to really share love and wisdom of the women that I interview, but also really helping people to see things from a different perspective and to grow and to become better, like step into a better version of themselves, returning to the natural state of joy and love. So my mission is greater than my fear. So that's why I need to do this. It's a no-brainer. I have to get over myself because it's not about me, right? So that's another way to overcome your self-doubt. What is it? What is stronger than your fear? What is stronger than the doubt? Why are you doing this? It all comes back to why, right? And then look at your past successes. I'm sure there's something that you've done in your life where you've had success. And then bathe yourself in that emotion of you having that success in the past, because it's proof that you can do something and be successful, right? So why can't you do something new and be successful as well? Okay? And it really is about training yourself, building that muscle to really overcome the self-doubt and really be aware of the self-doubt and really stop comparing yourself to others in a negative way. You can, if you want to improve on things, then yes, like I said before, compare and see, oh, okay, I can do that, or I can do that, and I can bring it in. But don't compare yourself like, oh, that's so much better than what I'm doing. Oh, why am I doing this? No, okay? And the last thing to overcome self-doubt is building that community of people that believe in you, because it makes such a big difference when you have people that are supporting you and cheering you on with what you do. It makes a big difference, and your self-belief will increase 10, 20, 30, 100-fold if you have people who are just cheering you on and believing in what you do. So that is all from me. If you think anyone will benefit from this episode, please do share it. And as always, I love you, I believe in you, and remember to always spread love, joy, and kindness wherever you go. See you next episode.